the internet, I hope.
Oh,
There
the
we are.
internet.
Yes, we are on the internet. Good. Mostly
No.
I do these for the recording, right? So I'm not gonna put like a big announcement out there. I think those who follow it probably follow the recordings primarily. But yeah, here we are once more. Another game.
All right, let's have a recap so we can jump back into the action.
Yes, last time we went out to look for this evil minotaur that probably had the ambrosia. The lair turned out to be a big, like, very well hidden moss clumped wooden mud structure. Not at all what we expected. We went in there. Really just guns blazing. I was gonna say swords and magic blazing. And slowly made our way up through weird rooms. We came in by like a slaughter room. They had not very competent people trying to act as cooks, it seemed like. And we fought some witches, giants. And then we went up and found Sakroth and Belladonna, who turned out to be some kind of nymph that would try and charm us. She didn't live long, and Sakroth was caught in a force wall and got to witness everything. And then he got real mad and we murdered him. And we thought, hey, we got it. We figured this out. Then we went up and we met Hades? Right?
Yeah.
He was there and he was like, haha, you think you won. Suck on this. I mean, he didn't say it like that. He's very classy. But that was the gist of it. And then everything was a fiery inferno. And, those centaur babies we were supposed to rescue. Yeah, they're gone. Also we met some centaurs in here who were trying to infiltrate, and as soon as they saw that we were also in here, they left. That's it.
It didn't seem so much an infiltration as they were guests. They weren't trying to hide, just resting, waiting, basically.
Hoping to negotiate their way out of this.
Yeah, so it seemed, anyways. But yeah, we'll pick right back up. You frantically searched the tower for, well, your actual charges here that you were trying to rescue, but found exceedingly little, other than flying, flaming skulls cackling after having shot their fireballs in random directions. The flames certainly are spreading fast. But of course, being legendary heroes, it's not like that really threatens you. The structure itself, while sturdy, is beginning to disintegrate under the fire, and with enough force, a large enough dragon can basically smash through any wall at this point. But you find very little. Whatever inhabitants you've left alive previously, be it insects or sleeping giants, have fled at this point. And the forest outside has not seemingly attracted any guards or anything, really. It is just the flaming remnants of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
This hasn't spread and started a forest fire or anything?
It's spreading a little bit, but the forest is wet and sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are it'll spread to some of the trees, but it's not going to burn down the entire forest. In a world ruled by Sidon's lightning storms, wildfires don't last that long. All the easily burnable stuff has already gone in flame hundreds of years ago.
These are like
That
cacti
makes sense.
full of water.
Ah, my immersion is intact.
Well, that went pretty terrible. Demas doesn't even have a cool line to say anything. No,
Oh,
try
we
to
know
find
in
those
trouble when.
centaurs that left. Gotta go just inform them what happened. And he anticipates they're gonna say something like, "Oh, look how you messed it up," and he's gonna feel like he did back when he was a young man in Mitros, supposed to be better than this. They say, Demos, you have a lot of responsibility. They said you have to be a legendary hero. You can't go drinking the night before the tournament. You know, all these things. And he feels a bit like that again, even though he's king and much older and has done so many things. He argues to himself. But alas, he has to go face them. He'll do.
As you're leaving the structure, then give perception checks.
Sure.
Okey-dokey.
Perception. Perception. A perceptive person. I am. Yes.
I'm not.
Got that. Sweet +5. 18. King's perception. His royal perceptiveness.
I see only flames. No, Ari's just thinking of those children. Yeah, that's it. She's like tears in her eyes. Can't see anything.
Mhm.
I noticed it was all an illusion.
That would be great.
18 and a 23 though, so that's
I was muted. Okay.
Figured.
Demos hears sounds like the crashing of wood that could very well be caused by the structure burning, but it doesn't really seem like it's coming from that direction. Sort of nearby, but maybe not where the fire is actually burning. Darius not only hears that as well, but also sees that there seem to be shapes rapidly moving away from here. Rather large ones, actually.
interesting.
We fly.
Um,
Emo's in
yeah.
such a fly. He doesn't see shapes, but there's crashing sounds. That means that it's probably the centaurs.
Mhm.
You follow.
Just in case, he draws his spear and readies it. Charges through the forest towards whatever it is.
This is another situation where my lost prep bites me in the butt, but it's only a map. It does not take long. What you see as you fly towards wherever Darius is pointing is splintered wood, as if some large creature tried to forcefully and quickly smash its way through the forest. However, not at ground level, but rather flying a little bit up in the canopy, smashing some of the leaves there. Not only that, also a bit of a trail of the occasional, scorched branch as well.
Is it Narcissus?
No, it's probably the Phoenix.
Phoenix sized, yeah. It's probably faster than the dragon. Then it's got 80 feet fly speed. It's already got a head start. If I notice sheep that I can't catch up, then
You notice that you very much can catch up as I'm
It's
preparing
an
the map for this.
ambush.
So the Phoenix set fire to this?
no, there's
No.
flaming skulls that did that.
Oh, I'm
I think-
confused.
I mean, Phoenix is the centaur. It turns into a phoenix.
Right, but
And it's gonna
why
kill
are
him.
they?
They were guests.
Yeah.
But now
Right,
they saw
I
us.
thought they
They're-
had already left.
They saw us burn down the building with the prisoners inside.
Right.
And now
It,
we gotta make sure
Yeah,
that they can't tell anyone.
Oh,
Because they will know it.
well,
it's
because
not
they
true.
they have been deceived into believing that we burn it down. So we need to fix that.
You know, it always helps when when someone catches you at a murder arson scene to run after them.
After them.
So they run away. That's how it is. So hunt them down and then yell at them that you
Yeah.
didn't do it and that they have to believe you. All the media I've consumed confirms that's the way. It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation.
It should be large enough. Damn you all with your a bajillion feet flying move speed, so you need huge maps just in case.
No, it's fine. And we can just. I mean, it's not gonna be a fight. Right?
Theater doesn't mind it.
I was gonna say, don't make a dragon campaign if you don't want large flying speeds, man. Like, I feel like
And
as
where
a-
did we have,
as a
where did we
resident
get that
dragon
idea from?
expert, you know, you should really have foreseen that. That's on you. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not. I mean,
You know what? You're absolutely right.
yeah. You know, what did you say? No. Can I repeat that? Can someone clip it? No.
You have that power. I'm sure there would be like some sort of Twitch achievement.
I mean, I know what I have to do. I need to reduce the speed of this campaign and take away all the dragons somehow.
Ah!
Yeah.
That'll make it more fun, right?
But not by talking to the
Yes.
players, but by somehow arbitrarily. What if all the dragons had their knees broken at night? You
Ah!
know, it's like,
No, they just vanished. And now what
Oh,
what
yeah,
we're
yeah.
trying to do is find. Oh man, that would crush Ariel again.
Go on a journey
Is there-
to find your dragons again.
Is the map up yet, or?
No, I'm
Okay, good.
Well-
No, just like you
Well, to
said
be
on map,
fair-
and I was like, I don't
no,
see
we just
I just found this stick figure again at the entrance. to the-
Well, it's a size comparison, you know.
so good.
Yeah. In Odyssey, I mean, as I remember the Odyssey, it's also about people who don't really know where they're going, or at least have an idea of where they're going, but don't know how to get there, and sort of keep bumping in the wrong places. Right?
Yeah, that's not
Right.
But
very
this
our
is
mom.
hit an island, then a different one, then like Tunisia for some reason. Like, you know,
Yeah.
took how many years to get home on like a 3-day journey or something. So, who knows
Right.
where we're going?
I should be about ready. What you see as you chase through the underbrush, through the conveniently already made tunnel large enough for your dragons, basically, is a bit of a clearing in the forest because it's convenient for combat. I should not have said that. Anyways, what you see is a familiar, large, flaming bird. However, it is not simply running away trying to escape you, but rather trying to escape a completely different pursuer.
What?
It is best described as an enormous dog that seems to be bouncing through the air as if it were solid. Although it's not a dog, it's got spines on its back and a maw that seems to be able to like expand like one of those frogs that get these bubbles on their jaw whenever they croak.
Yeah.
It's an enormous monster. So flying about doing their bloody business to the Phoenix's companions are two, well, they are called horned devils because they are in fact very large horned devils wielding halberds.
Mhm.
If your intent was to simply remove this loose end of centaurs, all you have to do is leave, it appears.
No,
No.
This is much better.
That's the easy option. This is
What?
no.
There's no
Kill
option.
devils.
It's also the villainous option.
Into the fray, my friends.
To war! I mean,
With hell.
There's always hope. For Frodo.
It is not this day. Yeah, charge.
these things.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Mhm.
The dog-like creature is about like 40 feet up, chasing the phoenix, whereas the horned devils are on the ground, rushing at the centaurs here. Give me some initiative.
Dragonlords, forward!
Alacrity.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, no,
Oh wait, no. I'd forgotten to do it. Never mind.
no time. There's no time.
Time. What?
wait, I rolled. Did I roll? No.
You rolled a 7, it looks like.
I don't see what I rolled at all.
Oh, you rolled
Now
an
you rolled an
18.
18.
Yeah, 18.
Oh.
Yeah, the standard initiative macro doesn't do anything in the chat. Only Severus macro.
Oh, okay. That would be why.
The Howler is missing. The Howler does not have its initiative bonus. There we go. That's more like it.
I need to put the grid on here, because... Ew.
Alright.
Ugh.
And what's this texture over here, sheep? It's just water in a puddle.
It's like a pond. Like don't pay too much attention to this map. It's generic forest, basically. I had a better one, but I can't for the life of me find it.
That's okay.
So I used this one. Darius. Do assume that the trees, however, are difficult terrain if you're flying.
Okay, cool. Nope. I think that Dareth Exel with her 80-foot fly speed is going to engage. We're going to move and then do a dash to get in line with this guy. Just to sort of provide some protection to the Scorch Runner Druid here. And then I'm going to cast Wall of Force around the boss man.
Alright. Wall of Force, the dog. What's the range on that?
Let me pull that up. That's my priority, so if I have to move, then I'm going to do that. Oh, yikes. It's 120 feet.
Yeah, that'll work then.
And it can be a radius of up to 10 feet, so I'm just going to try and squish it in as much as I can. Just have that box that.
Form-fitting Wall of Force.
Okay, out of 5th level slot, so I'm gonna have to remove my 6th, but that's okay. And these horned devils here, they have is it a spear that it's holding?
Like a large halberd.
Halberd, you say? Okay, cool. I'll use my last. I might have a bardic left. No, I did not. I'm out. So nope. Bonus action goes to charity.
Okay. How about Derefexel flew, right? Alright.
Yeah, she had to double move to get in that position to bow guard the Scorch Runner.
The Howler running in the air at full speed bounces off the Wall of Force, like
Boom!
it's slavering more. It is upset, and it will do its name justice and howl with a mind-breaking howl. Everyone within 60 feet cone, even. Yeah, he's just gonna target the Phoenix. He's pretty like laser focused. Let's see, Wisdom save. She makes it, however. Ariat. Harry?
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, I was like, oh, that was the one that I was going to shoot at up there. But oh, difficult terrain, huh? Yeah, 20. Wait, this is not a tree, right?
No, that's just a rock. You can ignore that one if you're
Right.
flying.
Oh wait, I'm with. Great. God, I can't believe that's only a move action. That is fucking. I get it. Sheep, I get it. That is fucking weird. All right. Well, bonus action hex. The howler. Let's just see here. Make sure that I'm keeping tabs on my spell slots. Use 3. Ooh. All right. Yes. And beam. Oh wait, I did that thing. Only take one of those. I had already forgotten.
The barrage. Which one are you typing?
Oh, you're right. I forgot just now again what that aura meant. Never mind. I will then double move over here, and I'll shoot the horned devil. Should I roll again?
No, that's fine. 20, 30, 21. Yes, those all hit for a whole bunch of damage. 47. Crashing into him. Let's see. No, I guess he has magic resistance, but it doesn't actually apply to this. It's an attack roll. The horned devil is getting shot in the ribs here from the side, but there's a dragon in his face.
It's hard to ignore.
He'll sneer at Darius before he rasps in his devilish voice. We were told not to kill you, but there was nothing said about your dragons. As he will swing at Darafaxel. 2 with his halberd. It's not a fork. 1 and 2 and 19.
19 will hit. Is there any bullshit I can do? I don't think so.
And a tail with a broken macro. Amazing. That's another thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna fix that at some point, and then I didn't. At 12.
Nope. Just the one hit. Oh, right. She tap. She doesn't. Okay, just the one hit.
Those were some very poor rolls.
I was counting on it.
Demos.
Gotta get moving, right? Move. And we'll... And I can't really reach anyone, so it'll just be a move and dash trying to catch up to this one.
Is it the what is the javelin?
I could. Suppose, yeah. I could go for a javelin. Yeah, but I'm not going to. I want to keep my here. My hand. That's it.
Alright. The druid will take her bow and... I mean, the howler she was shooting at is now in an impenetrable wall of force. She's gonna shoot at devil number 1 here. Let's see, how many attacks does she get? 2. 1 and 2. Both terrible misses, however.
Honestly, I'm just pleased she's not shooting at us. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, at this moment,
it's
just all bad, but you seem to at least be attacking the guys trying to kill them.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Kill the lesser ones, we group up on the big one.
Let's see. There's a Demos charging at this devil, but this devil is smart. Darius has done some Wall of Force bullshit. He's gonna whip around and breathe bursts of flame at Darius here, which seems like it actually might be a mistake, considering he's sitting on a red dragon.
Does he know
Yes,
about my boons though?
let's not do that. I can tell you, these guys have basically GM hacks about everything you do and can do.
Yeah, that's
They know.
Yeah,
they
I was
know.
gonna say they know what you had for breakfast.
He goes and starts shooting. He goes to shoot fire with it. Like, not allowed to kill me.
Bit worse than
Nah,
that. You
he's
thought you had something, you changed it.
yeah, he's gonna fly up to meet Zexia and swing at her with 2 halberds. That's a 20, 11, and
20.
a
I'll use my reaction to give her a.
sting with his scorpion tail. That's a 28.
28 will hit.
Right, 11 piercing and a con saving throw.
Poison?
It is not poison, it is a damage over time effect. At the start of your turn, you will lose 3d6 hit points, and every time he hits the target with that attack again, it increases by another 3d6. It can be stopped with a DC 12 medicine check. Or magical healing, of course.
Actually, makes it.
But she saves. Alright. The big old phoenix. Fire is bad against devils. She knows that much from experience here. She's gonna cast Call Lightning as an 8th level spell.
Oh.
And shoot it at the one that Demos is attacking. Which is... Oh, spellcasters. It's 8d10. Is it 8d10? Yes. Everyone within 5, but she can angle that. That is a dex saving throw for Mr. Devil for half. Fails, takes 29 lightning. Then it's Darius' turn.
Okay.
Lightning striking through the rubber thick canopy, setting more of the canopy like on fire, scorching it a bit.
Wow. All right. First, we're gonna do a. I guess bite isn't gonna do as much here. 2d6 plus 6 versus. Wow, even accounting for, unless fire damage heals them, but I don't think it does. I think they're just immune. It's still worth it to do the bite attack. So yeah, bite attack with the help action. Doesn't do shit. I am going to, I think I'm going to use, what is it called? The one where I bleed myself to heal my ally a lot.
Life transference, I think.
Yes, that's the one. Yes, I'm going to use life transference on Darathaxel, because she's hurting a fair bit. I think I'm just going to use the base 3rd levels. Wait, what slots do I have left? No, I have to upcast it to 4th. That's all right. I'll kill myself. I don't think I can. Oh, is my macro also broken? Might be. No, there we go. 4th level version. All right. She's going to heal 56, which should take her almost all the way home. And yeah, I think I'm just going to stay mounted on her.
All right.
And that's my turn. Just holding
Howler
concentration.
Let's see if he can reach out his howl. He cannot. He will just howl normally, trying to smash through the wall of us, which is impossible. Arid.
Better forgot about that.
Oh, I'm just gonna shoot the one that I shot before. That is hexed. This time I'll click only once. Ew. Well, actually, one of them is crit, so not you.
Double
Yeah, the
crit. Crazy.
first and last hit. Oh yeah, 2 20s. Nice.
So I roll 1d10 more and
And 1d6 more.
He's feeling it.
Good.
He is feeling it a lot.
He should. He's
You
a
were
bad
not told
person.
not to
and he
kill
should
them.
feel that. Yeah, exactly. We have not broken bread with these people, so
Oh. Even if he goes over to Arid. Nah, he's gonna kill this dragon. That seems like a fun thing to do. It's not like devils really die when you kill them. 14,
Miss.
12.
Miss.
That's terrible. And a 23.
Yeah, that'll hit for sure.
14
We'll get-
piercing and a con save.
Okay. 14. And she's got the wound.
Yes. The sting is like leaving behind a painful wound that will do something at the start of a turn.
Okay.
Oh, I'll just give it like a halo, like a red one. Sure.
Wounded.
Demos.
Delay into this devil. We'll do that. Magic spear.
Those are all hits.
The bonus one.
That's also a hit.
And I'm not feeling the worst, but I'm gonna just do it because I like it. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna activate the drain life effect on my weapon. I believe it's a con save, but I will just look it up to be sure. Oh, let's have that drain life. Yes, it is a Constitution.
Also,
save.
there is one important thing. You took necrotic damage from your healing, which means a concentration save.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Uh-oh. You are 100% correct, and it would be DC 11.
Yep.
don't fuck up.
Oh, I did fuck up. I was to see if it matters.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Dragon
Good
save.
spot sheet.
Right, a con save for the
Yeah,
life drain.
DC 17.
He fails. It's drained.
4d6 necrotic damage. 13. And I regain half of that amount. Can we round that up or down?
Let's say up. I usually round in favor of the PCs always.
There we go. A little more hit points. It's not a lot, but a little more damage. And then so actually we'll just do the bite.
That is a miss.
Yeah, alright.
Say
She tried. She tried. That's good enough.
Same thing as before. 2 arrows against the devil here. That is a hit, actually.
Yay!
It is also a magical bow, so it does 4 damage. Hooray.
Much you go.
This horned devil. Will he switch gears?
I don't feel great about where I'm positioned right now.
Fine, you
Okay,
got like
it's still my
100
turn.
hit points. And
It's
your
my turn before
your dragon
his,
is fully
so-
healed. You're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this devil will attack Zaxia again.
Also, I think
so
your
the
type is
tail
the only
first.
one that they don't resist, so...
Oh,
24
that's another hit.
and 2 forks and 19 in there. Don't think that's gonna do it.
A reaction again.
And a con save.
A con save. Rolling well on
That's
those.
another success.
I thought had a legendary constitution. I suppose we both have some of that. He drank a lot. He was
Yeah, I was gonna say it's real hard to fucking.
The Phoenix. I mean, cold lightning is good.
Yeah, I
sure.
mean,
She'll shoot more lightning at a devil number 2 here. Dex save. That's, however, a success. Oh, okay. Half of that. And yeah, he looks pretty battered at this point too. Can get some distance from the evil dog. Darius.
Yeah, I will recast the wall.
you don't have to.
It's okay. This guy looks pretty beefy, and I'd rather we just take out the goons and face them together. I'm just an idiot for doing damage to myself. And Dareth Axel's going to take the dodge action. Juniper's going to disengage. Get out of there.
Okay. See if the howler recharges. No. Just whining at this point. Arid.
All right, we're doing it.
Doing it.
Those are all hits again.
There one, of course, because it's hexed.
legendary Eldritch Blast.
That's right.
Stable.
Oh, also, Dareth Axel needs to take her wound.
Yes. She takes 17.
Oof.
A
Okay.
nasty
Oh, that's
attack.
a good roll. 3d6, 17. Shit. Oof.
Okay, she has a lot of hit points now, and I'll heal her next turn.
All right.
The wound burns.
I hope that devil was gonna be down soon, but
So Dareth Axel is dodging, but Darius is not. And while he's not allowed to kill Darius, he is concentrating on spells, and these guys are supposed to be smart. He's gonna do like one hit against Darius here. That's a miss. Do another one? No.
Mhm.
Okay, the tail. The tail has never failed him here.
Shield.
All right. Miss, and then the arcane magic springs up. He frowns at this. Demos.
Back from whence you came.
yes.
That might
Foul
just
beast.
do it.
Just stop hitting my dragon. Not feeling great.
Right? It's
Oh,
rude.
he's-
Like,
Got a bonus
Yeah.
attack.
He's still up. He's no longer up. With
My
the
God.
backswing.
Right.
Devil
Heroes
disappears.
looks at the escalating wounds of Dareth Axel, and you know what? He will dismount. Tell Circle, just go. Circle this place. You know, if you see me horribly dying, pick me up, please. But you know, she did her thing, and I'm sure she will sarcastically say that she did far more than her thing, and this really isn't, you know. You know, playing the reluctant hero that she. Can we just sort of put her over here? She's
Sure, you can just put it over there.
not participating more. All right, yeah. This is on the ground. He spent his turn. It's done.
This guy will just keep shooting. Eagle. Well, the dog is still encased. The devil is really putting the hurt on Dareth Axel there.
At the moment. Go on.
That doesn't really help.
I mean, so you know, Demos, you know, if it needs backup, Demos doesn't have a mount right now.
Taking
it would
fire
be.
damage just to ride a
I
phoenix.
don't know if you can. Maybe he falls through it. It's just fire. But
Technically, you could, but it's not really keen on the idea. It's going to use its action to do another lightning bolt on the Horde Devil over there.
Man, I want to be cold lightning all over.
look at that.
Yeah, while it's in animal form too.
Like,
That's so
what
cool.
the fuck?
8th level cold lightning too.
All
Yeah,
right.
well, I only have 5th level, so.
I have none.
At the end of this turn, there is someone else who joins the combat. However, I've misplaced her token.
It's okay, we can ban her.
So I'm just gonna roll it because she's probably back off the map anyways, as far away as she can be. But a series of arrows shoots towards the Horned Devil here.
Yeah.
What were her stats?
Oh, it's Echo.
Yeah. Echo and Narcissus.
Echo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Echo, yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
probably needed a ride to get here this quickly.
1 second.
She didn't need a ride, she wanted a ride. Like, she's a badass. She just really likes that dragon.
Mhm.
You know, you can't know what makes people happy. You gotta trust that they
It's
know
true.
themselves.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. And the arrows all go wide, apparently.
Oh,
Okay,
girl.
she's in training to become a legendary.
Yeah.
You know, she's got the attack roll of a very competent fighter.
Yeah. She's reasonably.
Yeah,
Oh.
she just doesn't have a super magic weapon.
It's true.
Yeah.
She's actually better than me without my magic weapon. Well, the same, I
Uh,
suppose. Yeah.
Darius, it's your turn.
All right. Assuming that we go simultaneously, the wound happens before I can do anything about it.
Yes. Number
Oh
14.
my god.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna use my last second level. Oh no, I have two. I have two second level spell slots to upcast a healing word, and then I'll trance. So Darth Axel is gonna heal 10 hit points. Woo! But that will also get rid of the wound. And Channel Divinity, 13 and 1. And then Darth Axel's gonna use her. She's gonna try and go for the kill. She's pissed. Even with help,
That
she's not gonna do it.
is a miss, however.
Ugh.
The
Girl.
Howler. Does he recharge? He does not. Can do nothing. Arid.
Alright. It's Beam City. Population, that guy.
Beach.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's another crit.
Wow.
The first one already obliterates him. He looks shocked for a moment, his arrogance shaken before he disappears in a cloud of sulfur.
I want to say he dodges the arrows and then he just is like dodging right into just like a barrage of beams. Yeah, it was teamwork. She meant to do that.
Yeah. Sure. Demos.
Yeah, so that thing is flying.
It is. It's about 40 up.
Go over here. And point his spear at it and sort of wave it around, try to get his attention.
Alright.
And I mean, you know, and then because can you sort of make it look down here? At him?
It's
Hello, you
it's-
monster!
it's not really paying attention to sounds that much. It seems to just be currently like spinning in a circle trying to bite through the barrier, not really looking at anyone in particular.
Not much I can do then. That's it.
This druid will rush over here to check on her companion. As for her, let me look at the spell list as usual. You know, I should never make high-level caster
NPCs.
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what I don't even know what half of these do.
Took me a while to understand like sorcerer stuff.
Does that still work? No, I don't think that's anything useful. Actually, that's a useful spell. Is she gonna do that, however? No. She is just gonna prepare a lightning bolt on the barrier being gone. Darius.
Okay, I could just get rid of this guy right now, but I'm going to fly over here and look down towards this Scorch Runner druid and say, "Did she just die?"
She'll nod.
All right. I will jump off and use my 4th level slot to cast Revivify.
All right.
You will. I refuse. Will
It
undo
doesn't
her
say
fate.
anything, but her uncertain expression about you perhaps softens a little bit.
Marius, could you lower this box down?
I could, but on my next turn, I could also just banish it.
Oh,
It's like, ching, 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 ching. Could you, like,
Just
please, dude? Like,
Let's just take a round of readied actions if, just barrage it when it gets back to my turn.
Harriet.
yeah. Well, I don't think I can move my hex in there either.
I think you
I mean,
can.
if it says an enemy you can see, then he's a valid target.
All right. I'll check spell words. Here, spell. Hex. Curse. Oh, this is a not long description. That is not very helpful. Hex.
That diamond.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Put hex on it. And so we're gonna fight this thing. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Do we think it's like a big
The
thing?
answer is entirely dependent on whether it has legendary resistance or not. If it does not, then it's going to go away on my turn.
Oh.
And if
All
it
right.
does, then it's definitely going to be a big fight. So,
All right.
I'd say
Well,
prepare
I'll
for a big
just
fight.
ready a barrage of. Actually, I'll use my Helm of Darkness as a. Oh no! Then that Argon can't see.
that'd be
Aw.
scary.
No, I can't do that. Yes. All right. That's it. I'll just ready. And I'll just blast barrage. Once that force wall goes down.
All right. Demos?
Just like looks at the sky a bit. Yeah, it's sort of it's this awkward thing with these spells and force walls. Sort of, this is modern war. It really
They
takes
take you out of the rhythm.
it takes
You
the
know.
romance out of the war, right? It's like
Yeah.
you sort of okay, yeah.
Back in the good old days
Wait.
of bronze versus bronze.
He does that thing of like rolling on his feet a little bit, like
Yeah.
racing on his toes. Like, come
Gotta
on.
keep ready
Like,
if something happens, but yeah, he's in
Yeah.
standby mode.
All right. I mean, she's busy over there. caring for her companion. The phoenix hovers
Get it.
expectantly.
Man, if I could transform to a phoenix, I would never be anything else.
Just call himself the Phoenix King.
Yeah, she'll ready a different spell instead. Darius.
Okay, I look towards Tanara and say, learn this to avoid a repeat performance, and cast Banishment, which will drop the Wall of Force, as they're both concentration spells, and he will roll a 1.
All right, then he rolls a 1. Let's see, what's his charisma bonus? -2. Okay.
Let's see. 17. Like, oh. Oh, right. Would have
The
been.
creature disappears with a faint pop.
All right, that was my very last spell slot.
I think Ariad like purses her lips. Like she was like after being in the fucking burning building and not being able to like she was ready to, to fucking murder. Like she was, you know, just about to like cast her sword and get in like her shadow blade and get in there and she's like standing there like Well, that went well.
Phoenix
Thank you.
lands, and in a puff of fire transforms to a centaur instead.
Well, if you want to fight, you could hurt me sometime in the next 48 seconds.
What does that even mean?
It means I need a minute to make this permanent.
Oh, the banishment.
Come back if I stop focusing. Well, 30 seconds. We should be fine.
He frowns at Darius for a second before she says, I saw too much, I suppose. I wasn't sure about your intentions, so I kept following unseen.
Then you know that we didn't do this.
I know. You were set up.
That's not true for everything. Still responsible for what I'm responsible for, and I own that. But using the truth against us was a very powerful move that you should expect more of.
He ponders for a moment before she says, even if I know the truth, I'm not sure if my influence these days is enough to convince the others of the fact that you are innocent in this. The others are looking for the last reason to start this war, and whether or not the truth is the truth doesn't matter. Enough will believe it to start a cascade. I told you that there are... I was among them who wanted this fight. However, in our desperation, some of us have looked for ways to actually match your power. You've shown me clearly that I could not, so I did not interfere. I should have. But they will unleash, and I do believe it is not if, but when. It's not something that will result in a win for anyone.
No.
You might lose, but nobody will win.
Nuts. We need more power. Power enough to make anyone afraid to act.
No.
That
We just become
fear,
the next fight on.
that fear, the fact that you are already as powerful as you are, has led to this situation in the first place.
Well, we had to be to defeat Sidon.
He doesn't respond to that. Turning away, thinking.
As he thought he had to be to cow the original Dragonlords. So that there would be peace because no one would be strong enough to oppose him.
There was.
It came at a cost too high, and 500 years of scheming that led to that power coming anyway, and the war starting anyway, and people dying anyway. It's not the answer. We've learned that. We completed the prophecy, defeated both titans, and saved our kingdom, and look at where we are now. What we need to be doing is talking and just enough with these damn secrets.
Among my people, there's a prophecy too, one that is most definitely not completed yet. One that ends in a shower of ash and fire.
May we hear it?
Already just told you the important bit.
How does it begin?
He frowns. It is a vague thing, more of a nightmare than a guiding vision. Besides, the source of which I don't entirely trust. I'm sure they're leaving things out to push us to war.
Who?
There's a small clan to the north, hidden. They camp mostly near the coast. They stay away from everyone, however they have resurfaced recently when Zakroth was looking for his allies. They're not with the land, they're with something dark. I do not know what they worship, but they draw their dark power from something, I'm sure. And they've suggested to unleash said something. They've been told that there is in fact a way by an surprising ally. They've not specified who exactly that might be.
You must glance to Darius. I see. Well, probably the same person who sent these things after us. You.
Can't help but feel like we're missing something even with that. That seems like
Or the
last
Kraken.
they're just on.
Came to me. He demanded the souls of all dead of Thylea. The rest has just been pushing us. The whole thing with Arcarania was just to push us.
I don't think so.
People are simple.
Could have been. What puzzles me is why he would follow this up with. Did you see something that undid your suspicions of us before the dogs chased you?
Yes, I was observing you as you were traversing the rest of the tower. I saw your fight with Zakroth.
Right. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Because them going after you basically undid all the work that their master put in today. But if you saw something, then that explains that. His weapons are on full display in the most obscure way right now. He has a grudge, a forced marriage that he was supposed to have with a dear friend of ours. We interrupted. That was the reason that I was in your lens, was the method that I had to try to save her. Had a forceful exit where you found me. You'll be happy to know that it doesn't work anymore. And she is no longer there, but suffice to say that he is extremely angry and extremely powerful. And would rather use you to fight us than expose himself to the rest of the world by showing his true nature. This discord, this chaos is his weapon.
I can assure you that among my people, a large majority would not mind being used to fight you. They're just looking for a way to actually be able to match your power, which they've
Exactly.
now found, I assume. Not only in this ally, but also this other thing. I don't even know what it is, but I know that unleashing it is wrong. It is trapped in the Never Sea for a reason.
Oh, the dragon, maybe.
Oh,
Art killer?
no, that was released already. But I can't remember. Was were
It's
there
bad.
more of those? Like, it was like in a box, right?
Yeah.
The prison.
You would remember this for sure. There were 4 in total, one of which had crashed down from the ceiling where it was attached with massive adamantine chains and was the one that the Kraken escaped from. The other 3 were undisturbed.
Oh no.
Well, we
That
only
does
have
make
one.
it more likely that it was actually the Kraken then, especially if this is a water-based tribe.
Well, we have enough problems with the one we already have around. They got these things out, and I mean, we would be completely screwed, completely lost. That would be terrible. So what do we do? If power isn't the answer,
What if you had the ability to be as persuasive as he was?
I'm not following.
His allure. It's not right, no. But it came from something. It came from this. And I show the drink. Among other
Frowns
things,
at it.
it makes one very persuasive. Truth is on your side, but you said they weren't ready to hear it. But perhaps combined with a silver tongue, it's ugly, but it would perhaps be a way to avoid conflict. At least no one would have to die.
they want conflict.
I know, and she just said that the truth wasn't going to be enough.
Well, if they want conflict, then how are we going to talk them out of it? It's literally their goal. Not to make themselves win, but to make us lose.
Mhm.
I don't see there being a compromise possible. I don't want to lose.
Why?
Nara is a respected leader. She has the truth on her side and could be magically influenced to have people listen to her. With that, it
Even
might be possible to talk them down.
even Zakrov's influence was not infallible. I had my concerns, and even his words did not lessen them much. I assumed this would be the same if I suggested things that were the exact opposite of what the people hoped to hear, I'm not sure how much this magic would help. I do see a solution to this, however. You've prevented a war once before with an overwhelming amount of a show of force above the skies of the plains. If whatever this weapon is in fact unleashed and you defeat it, I can assure you that there would be no war for until something greater is found, if such a thing exists, which it might not.
If nothing else, it
Keeping
could
the
buy
answer,
us
then.
time.
At what cost, though? At how many lives? And it would buy what, another 500 years of peace before people forget, or another prophecy comes along, or
We've accomplished much in a couple of years. Give us 500 years, and we will do more than that was done with the last time. Duel a big monster in the sky? Sounds like a solution we're familiar with. But hopefully this time with fewer complications.
Perhaps we can combine the two. Having the perspective out there that maybe the war would be a mistake will only strengthen the response if we then can show that we can deal with this thing. I'm not quite sure why they wish to fight us in the first place, honestly.
You are not sure why the Centaur tribes are uniting against the resurgence of the Dragonlords? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
Are you aware of the history the Dragonlords have with my people? Are you aware of the recent repeated disrespect that one of you has caused us publicly, repeatedly?
I'm aware of the one, yes. Is it enough to start a whole war over?
If it weren't for the fact that you've also killed our god, perhaps it could have been overlooked, or at least would not have caused this reaction. But the grudges have been piling on and on and on and on for centuries. And now the thought that a new generation of Dragonlords has appeared, more powerful than the last ever were,
You must grow us 2 centimeters.
has worried people.
And it should. The old Dragonlords did not act well. How do we change? Perhaps it was a mistake to re-establish the Dragonlords. It is not a good heritage.
It did not help that your companions, as he glances over to Darius, first meeting with myself in particular was not exactly on friendly terms.
sorry, I have to go for a minute, but I will be back soon.
Sure.
I'm just
And it
feel free
also,
to
I,
go.
and it also, I assume, did not help that afterwards I was very vocal about wanting a war. I found many who agreed with me, and then Dakrov appeared, backed with surprising resources and his silver tongue.
He's a symptom. He didn't do this alone, I couldn't imagine. There's got to be someone behind him. Someone who set him up to this. something like him doesn't just appear.
I don't know if this is a grand conspiracy. If I had to judge his character, think he is an opportunist. He saw power, he had the magic of this artifact to increase his own abilities, to make him seem more important. And then he just acted from there.
You're suggesting simply that we need to beat whatever the worst thing they can throw at us is. You beat it?
It seems to be, to me, that is how you wish to operate. If there simply is no tool that could be used to oppose you, then I would assume very few would try to oppose you in the first place.
So pure force.
I do not like that way of thinking.
I do not either. However, I do believe that the unleashing of this creature, whatever it may be, is inevitable. So if you have alternatives, I am more than willing to hear them.
Odds, yeah. They're gonna unleash a second Kraken-like thing of 4. Then is there any reason to think they wouldn't release more should we beat the one they send against us? They can do one, they can do more. So that's 1 Kraken for each of the current Dragonlords.
Wait, what?
If they can release 1 monster, they can release more. There's 4 total. 1 of them is out, and it doesn't like us. There's no reason to think they would just release 1 of them, especially if they thought we could beat 1.
Mm-hmm.
If they're willing to go so far as to release another one of those things, another thing to destroy the world, I don't see how we could reason with them. I would want to reason with the people we can reason with.
Yes.
The rest of them...
I don't think we should try and reason with the people who are gaining power from this elder dark entity, certainly.
Could attack them, but is that the best use of our time? Sort of gives the others meaningful glances. We have other things that would help us in this regard.
We could go there. To the prison where they're kept.
Don't think we can get to the Nemesis. Message. It stopped Maelstrom.
We could fly down there.
The Dead Falls, but
That's true. Yeah, there's the Dead Falls as well.
without the Ultras. My new ships are good, but they're not Ultras.
Trust me, the dragons can fly there.
I don't
Done
want
once
to,
before.
but if these are gonna be released, I know that for show it would look good if we fought them where people could see it, but that would just endanger them.
Yeah, it's too many. No.
If we have to fight them, I would rather do it not where other people could get hurt and where other people could be used as hostages.
Well, clearly there must be some sort of, I don't know, not a physical key, or maybe, but some way of unlocking them that they've discovered. If we could just remove that or change the locks or whatever the equivalent would be, just disarm them of that weapon. Yes, it wouldn't look as good politically, but we can't. Sacrificing people just to look good is wrong.
Even if they didn't have this beast. Val's assessment was always that if the Centaurs united, our defenses would not be prepared. We're simply too few. We need a statement that makes it so that there is not unity. Otherwise, every human being upon Thyvia will be killed. I'd hope that Rhesia could be made an ally, but well, we are not united. I don't think we can rely upon anyone but ourselves. And if you find a way to seal these prisons more than, but by all means, I will do whatever I can to help. But when we saw the one that had been broken, it did not seem an easy thing to break in or out of. I don't know how I would begin to come.
Sheep, if I think back to the memories that I bartered back from, that was that already destroyed when myself and Dareth Axel and Hezabel and her rider found it, or did we do something to unleash the Kraken by accident? I can't quite remember.
You found it like that.
Okay.
Mirrors lined up around it to look into it. Where?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
but-
were rings of mirrors that were reflecting like the ceiling, making it very visible over a large distance.
We never found out what released it or how it managed to get free. Perhaps if we studied that, we might learn how they plan to open the others.
Saying, we already have one of these beasts. We'll need to deal with that one eventually. Do not wish to have more, but if we can kill one, might be able to kill more than one. We have to at least kill one. Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
So, you'd find the heritage of the Sirens. Artemisia does what she set out to do. Then in the worst case, if diplomacy fails, if all other things fail, we will still have a chance. We will save as many people. No matter where they're from. Sort of glancing to the centaur.
Well then, let us not have it come to them being released.
Really not.
Well then, I think the only way that I know how to... I mean, we don't have a way of luring the Kraken to us. We're in a stalemate. We have land superiority and it has water superiority, and that's that.
Yours looks to Inara here. It says, your prophecy, guys of Ash. Is there any chance it's about a very big red dragon?
There are a variety of interpretations. Most recently, those interpretations have been moving towards connecting the prophecy to whatever you might end up doing. She sort of glances towards Dervex slightly. However, that interpretation seems unlikely.
We know the Elder Dragon is here. We know it's older than the Dragonlords, which means that the Dragonlords were not the first dragons.
Wait, we know
We
about
know it
an
wants to
elder
escape.
dragon?
Yeah, the like super
There's-
mega red one.
Yeah, I thought it was dead though.
Oh, maybe, but it was alive enough to express its opinion,
And charm.
which means that it's
Oh,
probably alive
that!
enough to-
Oh,
yeah,
the thing we found in the Kraken's lair.
Yeah. I
The
figure that. I
first red
figure that
dragon or
might.
whatever
I
it
mean,
was.
Ashen skies, right? That seems like a lot of fire.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Seems perfect for a big flying dragon monster who's very mad.
That's even more concerning then, because
Ugh.
that thing is also not in a prison.
No,
Well, I
there's
mean it
tons
is,
of
but
terrible evil monsters that can be unleashed, right? And are willing to give power in exchange for it. That and Hades and the Kraken and whatever else. We're outmatched. Severely. Like I can order my people to make more spears to arm everyone in the city, but what are they gonna do against this, right?
that's why for the longest time the idea I'd had was for us to just leave, just give the land back, but we can't. It's not a physical barrier.
I mean, it's also ancestral, right? I was born there. So were my parents, and them before me. Didn't ask to be the inheritor of the actions of the first dragon.
I know.
Or do I wish to give up my
But
home?
if we had
Someone who would invade it, who have never been there, because of some claim of 500 years ago, or longer.
it's a moot argument anyway, since our
Mhm.
discovery with Arcurania. That's the other thing, this place where everything arrives at the end of, I don't know, I don't understand it. But it seemed to be where they theorized that the airship might have landed. It's also where Hades told us that Arcurania currently is. That seems like something worth pursuing, but I have no idea how to. I know I could get myself there. I have no idea how to get anyone else there. That's a problem.
Tanara. I am sorry for my ignorance, but you say that your people want war, but is it only to avenge, or is it to gain land? I don't understand.
There are many different voices demanding different things.
Of course. You're many tribes, after all.
She nods. It is hard to define exactly what the first grudge was. I believe, and I have to admit, my knowledge about the history might be from our perspective. But when the people first arrived, before the Dragonlords were ever concerned, they stuck to the coast and were of no concern to any of our people. In fact, some cities and villages were built in the river deltas up the coast. Our tribes traded. We were concerned, perhaps, but by no means hostile.
Oh, yeah,
Over
no,
time,
it's
however-
much the same with sirens.
Over time, however, our tribes grew, the villages, the cities grew, and they expanded. More and more of their fertile lands around the river were claimed by orchards, by farms. We were told to stay away, and often so with force. We were more and more pushed into the inhospitable parts of the plains. The biggest, most remembered and most mentioned part of that is the lands, I suppose you would consider them north of Mitros. There were many plains. The rivers were plentiful and divided often into various valleys that a few tribes often traveled to. The forests were smaller back then. There were fewer orchards and farms. And most importantly, there was no Astoria. The city was founded as an enormous wall blocking off a lot of land that was important to some of the tribes living more south. Their grudges, they took them very seriously. They needed that land. They traveled north, and with them they brought their thoughts about these invaders, and they were echoed at many places. The centaurs living near the coast reported that the cities claimed more and more land. The centaurs to the south talked about Astoria. The centaurs to the east talked about Eresia's expansion. From every side, more and more of our land that we considered ours was taken away. And we weren't the only ones, of course. We talked to the Minotaurs, those that escaped Mitros and the cities, those that traveled from the centers of their trade towards the cities to the north and escaped from there. They too came to us. We talked to the remains of the Gigans, the giant civilizations that once lived in harmony with the rest of Philea, who crumbled. Of course, it did not help that the conflict between the Titans and you people escalated. Whether it was us pushing them to act or the other way around is irrelevant, but inevitably the first war happened. She pauses for a while. And then, of course, most recently, you slew Sidon flying above the skies of the plains, inside of the gathered forces there. And perhaps the memory that sticks to many were the Crusades of the Dragonlords, even after the First War had finished. Their attempts at quelling any possible future resistance. Wasn't any single event or any single area we've been denied that has caused these grudges. But every single repeated insult, disrespect, theft. And it very much seemed to me as if the new Dragonlords were following the same route. You entered our territory, our first meeting went as you remember. And afterwards, after we've been told to stay away, you invaded repeatedly. And I can assure you I know that it is not only because whatever magic you used to help your friend put you there, but also when you looked for what the dragon was doing in our territory. You thought you weren't seen, but you were.
It's all part of the same thing, and I'm sorry. I didn't want to cause problems, but leaving it alone would have also caused problems. That I thought would have been worse.
We have acted without knowledge. That is true. I just wish. I wish that we have had people from here too at our table. Just talking with you now, there's so many things that we do not know. I suspect many sirens would have told me the same if I had been of the past, but our society was split so long ago that we don't really have a coherent history anymore. I suppose it's a little late to invite centaurs into partaking in the Dragonlords, but it should have been done.
The Dragonlords, at least in the past, were never meant to represent Phylea. They were meant to represent the outsiders, the
Invaders.
humans, the invaders. As much as I appreciate your words, I have to admit that your presence within the Dragonlords as apparently a peer to these others is encouraging. You are of Phylea, nobody can deny that.
Yes, and so is Artemisia. Sadly, we have both been sheltered, and the conflict that we were all caught up in and that brought us together did not allow for a lot of, well, exploring cultural heritage, sadly.
There's another one
I
that you never met, and who was a nymph. But yeah, she was an equal. That part of the Dragonlord's history was removed as it should have been, should never have existed in the first place.
Perhaps if you keep this attitude, then you may be able to make amends in the future. But if you're looking to prevent a confrontation now by going to people and apologizing, promising that you are in fact different, that will not work. Not in the short term. Whatever happens will happen soon. Survive first, rebuild afterwards.
Yes. Thank you for your counsel and honesty. It is much appreciated. I wish that we had met in a different way, and that we had known these things before.
He doesn't respond other than with a slight nod, still frowning just at the situation in general.
We have made slavery of minotaurs illegal in Mitros, of course, as one of our first actions. I'm not saying that many left, of course. I would not keep them there, but in
There's a
time we
black
hope
market,
to
but they face the
reintegrate.
steepest of. Yeah, some refuse to let go of the practice, but they've had to move underground and are faced with the steepest of consequences when discovered, and the Minotaurs are set free. It's a long-stained history that needs to be, well, I don't think it can ever be made up for, but it can at least correct what needs correcting, and that's going to take time.
We know out of game. Do we know if the centaurs do like that indentured servitude to each other?
You could give me a
Because otherwise, this might fall on deaf ears.
Well, any
history check, I guess.
anyone can make an oath, right?
Oh, US doesn't know.
Just gonna
Okay.
say history. Ah,
They
yes.
keep sort of
Thor.
balls or something.
Intelligence rules. That's what I'm about.
I have expertise in history.
30.
30 is certainly pretty good.
Fuck you,
Got
nerd.
a modifier of
That's 500
14.
years.
Yeah, I have expertise in history.
Oh, expertise. All right, expertise at this level sounds pretty good. Yeah. Darius would know that
For
they don't really have an equivalent to indentured servitude. The centaurs in general are very much about martial honor in a sense.
Mhm.
There are often scraps and scrapes between the various clans during the peace times, so to speak, as they want to one up one another basically.
Mhm.
And a lot of that dominates how they act. Occasionally, if one of them, insults another either accidentally or intentionally, there may be a situation where, as an apology, they swear like an oath of service, which may be taken up on them, and they temporarily join the other clan to do manual labor, basically. But that's basically an entirely like voluntary agreement just to reclaim honor in a sense and apologize. It's not really like a market.
They use the oath of service as it was actually intended, not how it was corrupted by Mitrosians. So that's how I'm understanding that, at least.
Yeah, it's basically it. Darius would also definitely know that the Centaur tribes put a lot of weight in the value of their word. Like he would remember stories of like perhaps a large tribe or a couple of tribes even uniting to like lay siege to Astoria, which didn't materialize in an actual fight because, for example, Pythor went out and basically challenged their leader to a 1v1. And they honored that agreement, and after that was, went to its logical conclusion. They left.
Do we need to do that? Challenge the leader to duel? I don't think they will
might
take
just say
that.
Kinda
no.
Yeah.
Darius would probably assume that the current situation transcends those
Yeah.
a little bit, mostly because there might very well be the thought that you don't honor any of these words, so why should they now? Like, you don't subscribe to
Right.
their culture, so why should they?
To be fair,
Why should they do Why should they be fair? Yeah.
If we did fight a duel and we lost, we weren't gonna let them slaughter all the humans.
No. True.
Because that's just not, an option. The real problem is Deimos' escape plan from when the Kraken and its sea monsters attack was to draw people into the mountains, which are now going to be the battleground for when the centaurs attack. So, really, there's no place for people to go.
Which is probably not a coincidence.
Yeah. Being caught in a vice. Yeah.
Yep.
So if fleet helps, I mean, doesn't solve the Kraken, doesn't solve the centaurs. We need personal power to be able to deal with the short-term problems. If we could win 500 years of peace, then we have plenty of time to solve all these other cultural, deep-rooted
Certainly
issues.
that'll take time, right? That's not, we can't force that. Yeah.
And it would need different conditions. Those were unacceptable.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Oath of Peace was not really, I mean, it was a very compromised thing. Not between the peoples of 5e, but between specifically the 5 and the Titans.
Yeah.
The whole, Lutherian side don't get to do whatever they want, and you just sort of got to deal and live with it. It was sort of the problem, right? For us, at least. That spurred us into existence. We are a product of tyrant tyranny. Titan.
I mean, the things the Titans were limited to during the Oath of Peace was basically the bare minimum of how they wanted to be treated. Like, it wasn't as tyrannical as they should have wanted to be, if that makes sense.
They ate people.
Yeah,
They
required daily sacrifices.
That is their minimum. I feel like,
yeah,
we're justified.
there's no getting around this.
So
They expected sacrifices large enough to really hurt for the one sacrificing, because that made it mean something.
Yeah.
Often that was just a monetary thing, though. Like the white ox market was booming because those things were expensive, and the Titans recognized that, and they were like, "Yeah, those are good." Like you don't they didn't specifically ask for human sacrifices. Well, Sidon didn't. Lothario was a bit different.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't the only option.
Except for the time that they wanted the fucking princess to be sacrificed, no matter what.
Yeah, that was also a whole thing.
Really, and that's just in our couple of years of activity. So, so there's, I feel like.
And having things like that, like what if we had something, but without like the spiteful clauses?
I wouldn't ask any tribute of the centaurs in our piece.
Yeah,
they could just
literally
have their
nothing.
Stuff, really. Just not kill each other. Maybe. But to them, that's unacceptable, because killing each other is what they want, right?
Right, but they lose the argument of it being a defensive measure if we agree and are bound by oaths not to do it.
So their culture is about fighting, not killing. There's a big difference.
You want a big war where no one dies?
Their culture is about fighting, but their grudge is about killing.
Well, what if we said that to Tanar? What if we could? And again, I have a very personal distaste for oaths, so take that for what it's worth. But if we negotiated a true oath of peace without the petty subjects made to just make something mean something, and just have an actual truce, and come to the table ahead of time to talk about what that means, like what does each side need? There's going to be things that we want that may not be doable, but if we are bound to non-violence, then there's no need for it.
The issue with oaths is that they need to be bound to specific people or specific creatures, really. In the case of the Oath of Peace, that was sort of easy because the Titans were basically the gods of the centaurs and giants and all the creatures involved there. And the five had, of course, control over the cities, the people there. So an agreement between them was basically an agreement between everyone. You couldn't just make like a magical oath that prevents every centaur ever from organizing an army and fighting a story or whatever. You basically have to find the leader of the centaurs, which doesn't exist as a concept, and make an oath that way. But they don't have a god that has control over them anymore.
We are acting as people when we need to act like as gods, right? We need to act as higher powers somehow to have any arbitration ability. Because even if we screamed no, people will defend themselves in their homes. And the centaurs will attack. So yeah. We are the ones with the olive branch here, and they don't want it. Because they know they can win this conflict. And so they have no desire to negotiate. The ones of their side that will die, that's acceptable. And we basically need to flip the scales so that it's maybe they won't win. And then we have something, like then suddenly we can maybe bring them to the table. At least the reasonable ones. More reasonable ones.
Boy.
We're simply outmatched, I mean.
Basically, what Tanaro would suggest, and I'm just going to paraphrase. If you want to have long-term changes in opinion between, like, an entire people, that's a long-term thing. And that's something that happens with a lot of actions that do not have to be large. It started with a lot of actions that were relatively small, like that city, like turning another plains into a farm, and that city saying, oh, this is our land now, and Astoria being built was a reasonably big one, and so on and so forth. So just do the opposite. However, all of that is not going to mean anything if you're dead, basically. Survival always comes first. If your intents are true, then surely over the next how many years you might have influence and power and live in general, you can move the scales a bit. But for now, there appears to be some sort of devilish influence and also some untold evil being unleashed from the Neversea. That should probably be foremost at your mind, and not how to appease the centaurs. As much as Tanara likes the Ford.
Wow, coming from her, that's huge.
We need more power. And we know where to find it.
Oh, I hate this so much.
Well, I mean, we're gonna become the guardians of Thylea itself, right? We put Kentim to sleep. I think a lot of these things are popping out now because he isn't around.
Yeah.
And to put him down. And we couldn't fight him again. We had some benefits there that we do not have access to anymore. I tried to see if we can get a new Colossus or something, but it's just beyond us because we don't have the divine inspiration that was used to create it. Vulcan used to create it. So
Right. You were saying we need some divine inspiration.
We need something to level the playing field again. And once we
Right.
show that, like, they're going to unleash some horrible monster, that never works out for them, does it?
No.
I don't think they're going to be happy with the result of what they're doing. I don't think there's a pro centaur horrible
No,
Titan
but I
monster.
definitely also think that, like, as she's like, there's some people pulling the strings, right? And they don't give a shit how many centaurs die.
No.
Why would they? That does not fucking matter to them. The fact is that they're just stirring up shit, and it's very easy because there's already a lot of bad will,
In
right?
fact, Hades
Yeah.
literally said when he visited me that he
Yeah.
wanted more people to die to speed up the
Yeah.
repinning of souls. So he certainly
He
is
wanted
pro.
he wanted consistency
Yeah.
as his preference. Yeah.
I mean, that was his preference, but I wasn't gonna be like giving him sacrifices,
hmm
So
I feel like exposing Hades has to be the move here, because we can't beat him at this game. This is the devil. This is exactly what he's sort of specced out for,
oh, man,
and our DM is doing a
No.
great job of it. So I
If we
don't think we
wanted-
can win that.
If we wanted to do anything like what he is doing, then we would need to get Kira.
Yeah,
she's
like,
also just a dragon now.
I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
she.
like proving if he prove his existence and influence, then he can't do it as much anymore. That disarms him.
I feel like they welcome it.
Yeah.
Well, if they welcome it, then we're screwed. But we have enemies in in Mitros as well, and
Oh yeah, they're being fucking gifted too. You better believe.
like there's gonna be fingers in so many pies, and if people like know that the devil exists and is specifically manipulating them, people don't like being manipulated. It won't work on everyone, but surely it would make it much harder to play that game. That's what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, pull them into the light for all that means. But I'm just saying, like Artemisia is doing the thing in Arisia. We need the last bit of the 3 divine artifacts. We need that spear. It's in the Lost City of the Sirens. If we have it, we can. I mean, I don't know what the ritual's going to be to make it to Ascension, right? But that would be, I assume, a way to gain some tools we currently don't have. Because again, we can't kill Hades. I don't think. We can't kill the Kraken. I don't think.
Yeah.
And as long as we can't, we can't negotiate because they have no reason to come to the table at all.
Well, even
they
if
can't
we
win, they
did
can't lose.
negotiate, if these people are also being manipulated, the people who are willing to release these evil powers will do it anyway, and then yes, we might be fighting as a united force, but there's still gonna be incredibly many.
I think one Kraken can kill infinite boats. Like, it doesn't matter how much we unite
Not
the
just
humans
boats.
and such. Like,
Like-
they will just lose. One Titan God Dragon can wipe out infinite amounts of centaurs. Get nothing they can do. They need us ultimately, or people like us who are individuals of incredible power who can stand against these sort of antediluvian evils that are beginning to reappear in our current age. We're just not there yet. We're not. We're very powerful people, and we need to be more than that. We wanna. We've been the big fish in our pond now, and we're looking into a new pond where we're very small fish. It was big enough that Hades thought maybe he could manipulate me into signing some sort of oath of just, a people harvest every year, but I didn't. And so he was like, well, I guess I'll just arrange a war and then take it. What are you going to do, little person? You can't actually kill me. So, screw you. I'm just going to dabble right out of here.
Well, and then we took his wife to be.
Yeah. and that made him mad.
That made it personal. Before it was business.
And then
There's no fucking way that arrangement wasn't business.
And then
No,
we-
no.
No.
To us.
Mhm.
Like before, like the agreement of like, yes, please give me like souls every month or whatever. That was business. And you know, he had hoped to make the business deal, but he didn't, and that's okay. He'll do this other thing then. But then we messed with his like set up plans elsewhere, and now it's personal, right? Now it doesn't.
And the problem is, if we can't, like, the only way to remove him is to force him to stop. Well, you just keep going. There's always going to be people who are willing to take his deals.
Of course. And that's how hell works.
And if we, like, we need to be able to fight him.
I agree.
And there's the added
Right.
boon of the Lost City Disciples, which is
I scry on my sword. No. I reflect. Yes, I see a sky.
I mean, I would love if these centaurs would begin to speak on their side of things. I don't think we should go with them to do it.
No.
You know, that's fantastic, because the fewer of them that invade, the fewer will ultimately, you know, there'll be less casualties on both sides. Ideal.
Yeah.
Let's try to ensure that. I'm not going to ask them to, like, join us or anything like that. That seems unreasonable. I just figure if they don't go to war, that's a start. Maybe keep us updated a little bit on what's going on, if there's something we could do to make the world less bad. But really, the more we poke around up there, the more scary we're going to see.
Yeah.
Also worth keeping in mind from a player perspective that while an opponent like Hades seems like he has infinite tricks up his sleeve, especially for a devil, it's always making deals with people to lead them a certain way. And that means a give and take. Like, he can only trade information so many times. He can only use the resources he has so many times. So one surefire way to basically beat Hades is just to not be defeated by him. By anything.
You'll run out of steam.
At some point, he'll run out of
Yeah.
influence.
Become a god. No.
I mean, Deimos isn't
The-
even, like, really a... Sorry.
I was gonna say, Ariat does not want. She wants to make a dragon, if anyone. She's not here to become a godly power. That is not attractive.
And the alternative is, of course, the old school way of kicking in his door and removing him forcefully. But that might be sort of
Beyond us.
have different. No, I'm not gonna go so far as to say that it is beyond you, but it might also be not only very difficult now that you, first of all, don't have a way to get there in the first place, and he'd be prepared. But also, it wouldn't be as definitive because he will still have his influence.
Yeah.
Maybe drastically less so if he was homeless suddenly. But
I remember
destroying-
even when he was taken by surprise and you were like, ooh, this may be a TPK right here. So yeah, that's very much, even if logistically it made sense, it's not the way to go.
Yeah, in that situation where I said that, I definitely meant that. It wasn't just to up the tension. Because not only is he himself, of course, very powerful, maybe not like Titan level of powerful alone, but he's smart, and you messed with him like on his home turf. That has implications.
Right,
So
he has to prove something.
Yeah. We just emasculated him.
Now, also he
Had a
has
very
his
toxic opinion on
guards,
that.
his tools, his
Yeah.
what's the word?
Subjects.
No, his. What is that word? Something with C. His contingencies.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like the next step here is clear, right? Ready for defensive war. Protect the people while trying to find power that will let us stop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, we might all think, Seema certainly, that maybe we wouldn't make the best gods, but then again, have we met anyone? I mean, the five weren't, the Titans weren't. The bar, might seem like the best bar for godhood is sort of absolute moral and personal perfection, but that just does not seem to be a realistic existing bar in this universe.
Yeah, it's
We're Greeks. Our gods are messy.
or
and,
flawed.
I mean,
you know,
that bar sort of exists in a sense. The greater gods are a thing, like the ordinary pantheon of 5th edition exists, but it's more of an ideology really following one of those than it is an actual influence on the world. Like a greater god is not gonna do divine intervention. Like there was one exception, which was Mitros coming into play in the fight against Kentimane, but that was only possible because she obviously had a connection to actual Phylea and all of this, and likely was the only thing that will ever happen, like in history, something along those lines. If greater gods are more about like their domains and the ideas they represent, and less actual like creatures that act. Whereas the gods that walk the earth have, of course, huge influence on the world around them, but they are also sort of. I mean, you've seen them.
complicated people.
Yeah, each one has their own flaw,
Yeah. So,
as would literally anybody.
yeah. So ascending, I think we're gonna get at least a better set than previously. If nothing else, because we want to do good.
Mm-hmm.
And someone needs to take down that Kraken.
All right, so why don't we move on, like zoom in and try to figure out our next step on a small scale. I think going to the Sirens makes sense.
That's the area. It's we should, let the blade guide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just hope it's not below the cracks there.
It's right there. In fact, all the ancient monsters are sitting on the spear.
It would be next time. Do it.
I mean, I'm not sure how we go about it, really.
Well, we will. Probably, say to the Scorch Runners we're sorry for their loss. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would definitely ask if there's anything she can like help them with before they leave. Yeah.
Tenaro, without much hesitation, said that there's nothing you need to do.
You know, right?
like we all have worked together to try to prevent a terrible war.
Yeah. Get to it.
Get to it.
As she leaves, for whatever it's worth, because we've been talking about perspective and knowing things, understanding other sides. I'm gonna offer Nara a copy of, because we've established that Darius is constantly like writing the events of the story and from time to time distributing them. What I have not done yet is give someone a version unedited, and I'm going to do that for her.
All right.
The whole thing, all of the mistakes, all of the intentions, the successes, failures, the secret of the 5, I think there was something else that I didn't include on a previous version. I can't remember. Oh, I think the hags, the stuff with the fates. I don't remember why, but I think at one point that was. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give her a full copy. So maybe it's just for information that she doesn't know, and maybe it's just to, understand perspective for whatever. But if there's any use that can come of it, it's hers.
She's surprised by the gesture. If it really is what Darius is suggesting, which she not so very subtly is at least skeptical about, then that's a great gesture indeed that she will keep in mind.
Oh well, she'll soon enough find out that it's way too juicy for it to be censored. This is.
But to say it includes other things I'm not proud of that you don't know. So. And there will definitely be some things in there that you don't know, but what you feel free to follow up on whatever it is you want to or can if you need verification. And also you can just ask.
She doesn't really have a good response to that.
Sorry, Valis.
It's true. It would include the truth about the 5.
Yep. I never promised to stay silent on that one. I was not a fan of the idea. And I think that the loss from whatever Valis sees as a slight there could maybe be made up for in terms of what this would mean to the Centaurs. So.
I think it's also important that we did not know, right? So the gods were.
But also what Sidon was like from our perspective, right? Like, okay, he was
Yeah.
their god. Okay, cool. That's something I very much don't know what that was like day to day. What we know day to day was all the sacrifices that he demanded just so that he wouldn't kill us another day. And how he wanted Inara dead, just 'cause, really. And, everything else. That maybe they'll see a different side of him.
Also, the storm above Mitros that the 5 dispelled, which was definitely a bit of a dick move within the constraints of the Oath of Peace.
Yeah, definitely. And, that we did everything to try to make that not the right option. And I don't know. I'm not sure what they could gain from it, but, that's because I don't know what their perspective is like. There might be something in there that, helps connect some dots or just induces more empathy.
What the hell?
I'm getting pretty done with secrets, so I'm just putting it out there. And I think from now on, the other copies, when we decide to distribute them again, are also not going to be censored. Because, again, this also helps with the Hades thing.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Ariad is fine with that. She's not. She believes in speaking her truth. You know.
So, I gather that you depart ways. Part ways, even. Where exactly are you going?
Home to Mitros. Make a report. Say, all right, yeah, no, there's probably going to be a war. Let's at least be ready to, find safe places people could be evacuated to if this turns into a war zone. All these things. Motion, but beyond that, we need to find a way to find the lost city. It's going to be,
Well, they said that you could use some sort of ritual with the blade. Like I think we already have a way to find. We just need to do it now.
Yeah, well, that should be our first priority. What needs to be done to get that done.
As far as Narcissus told you, the key to finding the lost city is having one of those weapons, which you do, and basically using the star pattern that you can see within it, with most likely something like the Antikythera.
You have the Antikythera. Pulls it out of his backpack.
Have that with you. Also, if you're going to Mitros, Narcissus and Echo will not follow.
Or do they?
They'll basically say
that makes sense.
They will basically, without so many words, say that they don't really. They appreciate everything you've done, but they don't belong in the Dragonlords. They're gonna live in the forest, basically.
And
Yeah,
they're
be
gonna
safe.
know. Hey,
They'll be secret. Yeah.
Maybe that's smart.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, like.
Given everything we've seen, maybe they don't belong. But maybe they should be.
No, they don't.
Kind of wood.
I did not expect. I feel like we basically knew from the beginning that Echo would not be staying. I'm not. Yeah,
Just,
cool.
Be good.
Yeah, be
fun.
good. We'll see
Have
you
fun,
again.
Kids. We'll,
Yeah, have fun,
Yeah.
kid.
And if you really want to do something, you should reach out to your sister at some point. That's the bravest thing you could possibly do.
Narcissus, like he ponders for a moment before he says, "I suppose I should. Depends which sister you mean exactly. I would definitely want to talk to one of them, the one who understands me."
Well, she's unavailable right now, but we're working on it.
Suppose I should talk to the others as well, but I'm not sure if I've got more to say to them. In fact, I would worried about the things they have to say to me, and maybe those words don't need to be said.
Up to you.
Are you going to tell them about me?
I'm done lying, but I'm not gonna bring it up until the next time I tell the whole story,
talk to Pythor.
or if they ask.
I mean, in the Demon's blanks. Just whatever Dad's dragon name was. Side eyes. Well, anyway, Pythor.
Yes, the
Or Spitrion.
farmer, or the winemaker. Or it looks like I think what is it like? They all know that it's like, oh no, Pythor's not around, but it's like, no, yeah, okay, it's the dude out there who makes wine.
No, but Demos thinks if any one of them is going to be able to understand, it's probably him. He's made mistakes. He's come back from them, and nothing else. He's in a bout of marital bliss. So
He's also a little more remote. Doesn't involve going to the
Yeah.
city to talk to him.
Hey, they could talk about
We'll
that.
chill. Have like a holiday thing.
Resort.
If he wants to.
I'm sure that your mother would be very happy to see if her kids were talking again.
Don't see much good coming from pacifist me talking to the god of battle, former god of battle, I suppose.
Really hasn't done that much battle lately. Sort of just wants to enjoy life,
Say he's-
I think.
Yeah, he's completely free to do whatever he wants right now, and he's in an orchard.
Do like wine.
Turns out you have time to decide, but not too much time, it sounds like. So, you know.
Well, I'll let you know that Deku and I stayed far away from your conversation, so we heard nothing, so we don't have anything to worry about. So don't... If there's some great evil, we're not going to be of any help anyway, so don't tell us.
Oh, I don't think we need to tell you. You'll know. You'll know.
He frowns.
That's a very specific request for someone who didn't listen to the conversation.
Oh, in
I
my
thought-
mind, they were just in the bush the entire time, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they went back, and then they started making a lot of noise, like, "Oh yeah, we're coming through."
Basically, he's telling us that he doesn't care and that it's
Yes.
our problem.
Yes,
Mhm.
He's
Mhm.
just gonna leave.
that's fine.
Yep.
You know
But
what?
he's not a Dragonlord.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, anyways,
he could be changing the world without his fists, but okay, whatever.
Doesn't want to.
No, yeah. I'm just saying it's a weak argument to be a pacifist but then not do any of the other things that pacifists do. I won't do anything actually. Like, oh, okay. So it's not specific to non-violence, really.
yeah, he just doesn't want to do it, and I'm not going to force him. Literally have way better things to do.
Finding the lost city design. I mean,
Yeah.
is there? We could go home, or we could just sort of. Let's actually have a look at that blade, right? Let's see where these stars point to. We don't know where around this island, land of Thylea it is. It could be north. It could be. So might as well just get an
Sure.
idea.
Well, we have the components here.
We do.
There is some tinkering necessary to make the two work with one another.
All right. Well, I guess the closest thing here would be the Tower of the Dragonlords.
You certainly know people who would be very much capable of that being both Vulcan and Aegis.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you already, chances are it's somewhere in the Forgotten Sea. Direction doesn't really matter. The seas shift so much that even if the Antikythera were to point a certain way, it would likely be like the first waypoint, so to speak. And through the primeval chaotic nature of the oceans, the trip would take 3 days, as it turns out.
On Dragonback.
Oh, we still have the harps, so we could reduce it to 2.
Does that work with flight?
If it works on a sail, I don't see why it wouldn't work on a dragon wing.
It works on... no, my ruling was that you passively use the harp to make the travel on Dragonback possible in the first place.
Oh, right, yes.
There's still the storms going on, which would be a severe obstacle if it weren't for the harp. But it doesn't actually speed you up. If you were on a ship capable of traversing the Forgotten Sea, which Mitros does have a set of 3 ships that do fit under the description nowadays, then it would reduce the time.
Let's try the
Yeah,
ships.
We need that airship, man.
Oh man, we need to try these new ships. Like, we got these cool built, like
crash one,
elven
then.
wood shapen,
Mhm.
like
We could.
Yeah, we can't be having our dragons like 3 levels of exhaustion arriving every time.
It's true.
and
If
also we need like the sailors need to fucking learn how to sail these in not harbor water, you
Or
know?
elven boats.
Like
All right, yeah, we could take a ship.
strap that arcane cannon on it,
Yeah.
you know. They need experience with that too.
Called the Megatros.
The Mechatron.
Ultros was.
That's bad, and you should feel bad. The Megatron. It's like Super Saiyan, Ultra Saiyan,
Yeah.
Mega Saiyan.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna take one of those elven ships.
Let's do it.
The Infinite Ross.
The Infinite.
That one comes later when we have to go to the Astrals. No. Also, I'm gonna just tell Valis, hey, you know, things are going on. Here's an update. Centaurs invading from the north. Probably most definitely happening. We're trying to deal with the big monsters. Please help with the logistics. We're so busy. You know.
Per usual.
She does have experience in these matters. As far as she's concerned, you are the prophesized heroes. The prophecy is not over yet.
Bring peace to the land, right? That's how it ends.
I mean, she posits that it sort of ends with like an ashen sky and presumably destruction. She never really thought too much about the exact ending of that.
And we have the Ashen Skypipe too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, even Versi mentioned that at some point.
Probably I just blacked it out. It didn't seem important, you know?
Yes, you
Um,
know,
Valis,
I've only ever met Versi when she was very depressed. So
which of these islands out here, sort of these whatever they're called, islands sort of sticking out from Thyvir, but not in the Odyssey. If the Centaurs break through, we need a place to evacuate our people. They don't have boats. We do. We're a maritime civilization. Worst case, we can get the civilians to some of those islands.
we made
That was
the
the idea.
trade island that was supposed to sort of be a safe
Oh,
haven.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
not very big.
Did you ever give that a name? I've just got it marked down as the
It was
Crossroads.
Small.
We didn't, I don't think.
I can give you a status update on that. It's certainly developing, primarily driven by a variety of Siren clans who have decided to just live there now for one motivation or another. It's small. It definitely couldn't hold like the population of Mitros, but it's growing like even beyond the borders of the actual island it's being built on.
The point is, you know, you said that we could invest money and stuff into projects, right? Artemisia did. We did the trade island. I need like sanctuaries on suitable islands capable of holding all population should the worst come to worst. Because Deimos has seen a future where Mitros is leveled to the ground, and he you know that shook him to his core. But he has to at some point come to the conclusion that much important and historic as Mistros is, its people is really what makes it, right? So if he can at least save them, you can rebuild a wall, you can. So
The issue with that plan is that a place large enough to properly hold the population of Mitros would be as large as Mitros.
It wouldn't have to be one
It-
place.
We can start
I figure
converting
there's
all the
tons
old
of
islands.
around, right? Basically, we need to catalog them,
Yeah.
figure out how many are there, what can we do with them, what's real.
That's a thing that could be put into motion, like behind the scenes, basically, passively. But it would be an undertaking that would take immense wealth and time. The latter probably being the bigger problem.
Perhaps, like we could
Well, it's sort of
connect it to
flawed in
the.
that we. Sorry, go ahead.
Perhaps we could use the resource of the like winged messengers of the sirens. They would definitely have some knowledge, perhaps that from just having to travel around, delivering messages.
Yeah,
that
they
could be useful.
They would definitely have knowledge about these islands. Worth noting that it's not just finding islands that are suitable, but also presumably ones that are uninhabited, which is not a given.
Well, we know the island of the exiles is uninhabited, so there's one.
It's also very, very small.
Yeah,
You could fit like 50 people on there.
But I'm just seeing like a bunch of these sort of mountainous islands out here. They're not really too far away from each other. Not a lot of farmland and such, but there's fish. Like you could make something work, right? And if we begin constructing like some villages there and stuff now, then we will have them if things go too bad. And then
Also,
ideally
presumably, if it gets to that point, it's not going to be the entire population of Mitros who needs evacuation.
I mean, we're basically, I want to be able to have like an exodus, right?
Yeah.
Big ships, put people on them, and go. But we need to have a place to go.
Mm-hmm.
And having that place is. I don't know. These islands are probably not like actually.
No,
representative.
The map is a more or less abstract representation of Valia. Like these islands here, the proper big ones that are off the coast, they are actually in the Cerulean Gulf, so their position is not fixed by any means. You can reach them just through normal navigation and travel, but it's vague and requires basically an experienced navigator to improvise on the fly to get there, and it takes quite a bit of time. It's that awkward situation when your destination moves. And the ones down here are actually in the Forgotten Sea, so they are all over the place. They're just put here for convenience.
But like something like this, right?
Yeah,
okay, so
even those are not necessarily fixed.
All right, well, I guess we can look further down to these. There's some cities here, I guess. Don't have much contact with those, I remember. They sort of...
Yeah, there's a bunch of villages that aren't really connected to Mitros, like, properly.
Well, if we fall, they fall, so... Anyway, I mean, we visited a bunch of islands in the Cerulean Gulf. At least that's possible to get to with a boat, just a normal boat. Even if they're hard to find. I think there's some merit to the plan.
I agree.
And
step one, every single person who manned the Ultros becomes captain of their own ship because they all have some experience flying or like sailing around those seas, which probably not many people can boast.
I know there's civilizations out there, right? We could probably hire. But we don't need to go into the logistics. I just what are we talking, expense wise?
It would be on a scale that doesn't really like it's not so much just the gold coins you can discover on your adventures, but it would be a vast sum. And I'm saying vast in the sense of you can't pay that out of your pocket. Like city-wide income distribution, basically. But
could we just
I
make
wouldn't focus on
Alice's project? Because
you could. I wouldn't focus on the wealth part. I'm just pointing that out basically as a flavor thing entirely. But the time part is definitely important. Like this would take like a decade at least.
If we are 10% done, that's 10% of people who can.
It can be. consider it put into motion, and don't worry too much about the actual like details of it.
All right. And yeah, and Vulcan help us. Where is Vulcan?
He's on the island of the Golden Heart.
Heart. Yeah.
We can find Aegis and also use sending. Like, I hope you enjoyed your holiday, because it's time to come back to work.
I think we
happening?
should find Aegis. I don't know. Like, Vulcan is on that island to be left alone.
Sure.
And try and connect with his dead wife. You know, I feel like can let him be there.
All right. Vegas can most certainly do that for you. However, as I've warned you earlier, today's session might be slightly shorter, and I think this might be a good spot to do that. But we can kick off next session then with adventures in the direction of wherever that might lead you.
Ooh,
Yes.
it's exciting.
Morally unambiguous for once. You know?
Yeah, exploration, discovery.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh.
archaeology, for the sake of plunder.
I have a question regarding the Ruby Gate. Does that look like, if I was to look into the plane shifting properties of that one, does it seem like the thing was shut off or that entry was barred into hell?
It looks like the crystal itself is now just a pretty gem.
Got it. Copy that.
Whether plane shifting down into Hades is still possible is a whole different question entirely.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that
that was-
Darius would be aware about Hades as a plane is that it's not true hell. It's a smaller demi-plane basically attached to Phylea, which it being smaller means it might very well be more easily possible to control entry.
Makes sense. That's interesting then that there were Tiamat visitors.
Yes, as a reminder, they too mentioned that getting there was a bitch because it was basically as difficult to get from true hell to there as it was from the prime material plane to Phylea.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I need to learn that spell. It's never gonna happen though.
I was gonna say, you know, I looking at like, oh, 8th level. Yeah, that's that's far away.
With a triple multi-class, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Hey, even with my 2-level warlock, I'm not.
You only get 5th level, right?
Yeah.
And your own sorcerers.
I
No,
mean,
yeah.
I'm only getting. I don't
You
get
get
warlock
higher level spells as warlock too, don't you?
No,
Like
you-
the once per day high level
Yes.
spells. Mystic.
Yeah,
Academy,
if you keep
I
taking.
remember that.
Yeah, but I'm the
warlock
only
level.
2-level warlock. Yeah. So.
All right. Speaking of levels, though, I haven't given you experience from last session, I believe, intentionally because we weren't really done. So each of you receives 22,000. Let's make that 400 experience.
Oh. What does that put us at now?
If
I'm
not
counting on
mistaken.
you guys to
I
Yeah,
am
that-
too. I hope
Uh,
someone is, otherwise this would be awkward.
Yeah, that gives us a level. We're at
Hey.
166,625, and we needed 165 to level.
I've got to. Checking what we needed. Yeah, 165. Just.
Level
15.
15.
Woo. Where I get a martial archetype.
Ooh, am I finally level 8 cleric? Yes.
Oh, and now
I'm gonna say level 13th sorcerer gives me one level 7 spell.
level 7 spell. That's a pretty big deal.
yeah, one slot. I mean,
Now I have Shield Buster. So if if I crit people who have shields, I can break them.
You also have an expanded crit range,
Yes,
19 and 20.
19 to 20.
That
that's
seems
pretty great.
significant.
5%
I have
more
a-
crit chance.
I know
Especially
the
when you
thing
have solo
where-
attacks.
If people are not wearing shields, then if I crit them, I deal an additional d6.
I have a thing now where my healing spells also add my wisdom modifier to them in
Oh,
addition
thank
to
God.
what they had. And once per long rest when I cast a healing spell, I can also have that be the point of origin of essentially casting fog cloud. It's like, oh, you healed someone? Yeah, they also have a bunch of vapor surrounding them, making it hard to see. And fog cloud is a really good radius that increases with the spell slot that you've used. So
I have to wonder how I make a macro instead of crit. I'll probably just remember.
What level sorcerer I know, Eric?
13.
13. So you get the new feature next level.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I get to once per day shrug off. Like when I fail a saving throw, I can decide that I don't.
Yeah, you
Because
literally
I'm a
get
demigod.
legendary
I've
resistance.
got blood. Yeah,
Wow.
I got demi blood. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to be unconscious, man. Yeah, that's pretty good. Especially there's like saves like get ridiculously high now. Some of them. No.
Yeah, saves certainly scale much faster than saves do.
Yeah.
Just no way to
Like you-
increase
you-
saves.
You could have a paladin, I guess.
Yes, we need to hire one of those.
Yeah.
Or
Hire a paladin just to stand in your
Just
vicinity.
stand there.
Yeah.
he must retrain into paladin.
Yeah, but there are magic items that increase your ability scores. There are feats to get proficiency in saving throws. I'm sure there's magic items that just do something along the saving throw as well.
You oath
You
the
can get
crown.
magic resistance.
Can you be the oath of the crown if it's your own
I have
crown?
magic resistance, but I still have like some saves that are +1. So yes, I have double chance, but that's still not a good chance.
Well, that's some ambiguous wording.
On the flip side, like you also have things that enemies just just fail against. Like Wall of Force has been very helpful,
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
to say the least. Like that doesn't even give a save.
It is kind of a
No.
Yeah. That was why I looked so hungrily when Chandras had it.
There's gonna be a time when demons get put in a wall of force. Lives there.
And
I think
there will most certainly be smart enemies who know how to deal with a Wall of Force, but a big old devil dog is not one of those.
Teleport.
Anyone
Way to
with
deal with
Misty
it.
Step can just get out of it. It's,
Yeah, I was gonna say, it would not be a problem for me. I wouldn't even have to do my big spells. I could just
mhm.
jump back.
They're
Misty
just
Step
really
would-
good
would
against the
not
big
work.
brutes.
No, I think it has to be teleport, right? Or like,
Mentioned
It does say this wall extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. I believe all short-range teleport is just ethereal travel.
Oh, nice. It's even better than I thought then.
Yeah. Spells
At
are
least
broken.
that's how I interpret that
right?
bit.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
hmm It's just too good. It's just too good a spell.
Well, I feel like we encountered it being used by others, and we were like, "What the fuck? Like, what are we supposed to do?" And now, it finally gets to serve us.
I mean, the easiest way is to just break the concentration.
Yeah. Definitely. I remember when Artemisia was like, "All right, well now for the first time ever, I'm going to use my snake eyes, my little petrification, because it's the only thing that she could do because it was see-through." So
Yeah.
it's pretty clever.
Yeah, that's another thing. You can't see through the wall, which is relevant. It says nothing can physically pass through the wall, which doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but
that you can't, like, howl
Roar.
or look at someone or do all those things.
Or if it's
I
a
was gonna
spell that just
say,
requires
like,
line of sight, not line of effect.
you need, you need to like use it on like the big minotaur or like the dog, right? If you use it on a caster, it's like, oh yeah, please put me
Yeah,
in a
it's
bubble where
pointless.
no one can hit me.
Yeah.
Thank you, kind enemy.
Yeah, the only caster I'm
Yeah.
gonna put in the wall of force is myself.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Just around you and Daredevil, just whoop.
Yeah, in retrospect, for example, when you encountered Tanara for the first time, she could have still used Call Lightning, which
Yeah.
I didn't realize at the time, because it is summoned from the sky, basically, not from a space. Like, there's a lot of things that can bypass a Wall of Force, but, well, not a lot. A few things that can bypass it, basically, completely. And, of course, if you can cast Disintegrate, it becomes a non-issue.
Mhm. Even then, it still forced someone to waste a disintegrate, which is a
Yeah, true.
what?
It's also
It's,
a higher level spell than the Wall of Force itself.
Yeah. So overall, it's still nets out.
I was gonna say, I don't know that
People wall of
I
forcing
would.
each other until.
I mean, I could teleport out, but I could not. I don't think I have any. I guess I could use my siren shit if I. But that would require that I knew that I was going to be trapped in a wall of force and was sad. So
Well, if you had foreknowledge that you were going to be trapped in a wall of force, that would be pretty depressing news.
yeah, it's like, oh
Yeah.
hey, I guess I'll
Ariad
sit
has
in here.
been has been very happy as of late.
Well, I sort of like figured that like the whole mentality for her clan was that they were somehow like sort of able to control it by like doing these rituals, which now she has to be both the ritual master and the leader because she's the only one. So she's sort of taken that upon herself, Mind Palace style. So at the moment she is definitely able to control it mostly. I mean, let's see the next time she's emotionally scarred for life. We'll we'll
We might be seeing that soon, depending on what we find down there.
it could happen. I mean, But you know, what more can she lose? Be look into the camera. Say, I've already lost everything I could possibly care about losing. That's the Greek thing to do.
Mhm.
uh, and then the fates are like, oh, let's show.
Oh yeah, right. I gotta go find them again. Get their whatever it is that they have that would be useful for getting to where the airship is and where Kira is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can deal with
Also-
them pretty. I don't know.
Oh, I've been wanting to snap their necks for a while.
Well, I thought we were trying not to kill everything in our path, man.
They don't count. They don't count.
Oh.
They're not people.
Oh, all right. Well, that's an issue.
Yeah. I think that's it for tonight. Stream recording, and in
Look at
2
feet.
weeks' time, be another episode.
Yay!
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yes.